We have to stop making a bad situation worse.
I would like to know who's spreading lies about me.
Does Sonny Corinthos have anything to do with Dr. Lane?
Are you worried about what the doctor might tell you?
There may be another path to find my daughter.
Does Drew seriously need to be in every single scene, asking for a friend? Doctor, Mr. Corinthos, I've got good news and bad news. The good news is that your heart problem is treatable. The bad news? You've got a massive tumor named Natalia, and it's not planning on leaving anytime soon. And then there's Sidwell, who's so obsessed with Sonny that it's starting to look like he's the one who blew up Sonny's penthouse. Meanwhile, Mr. Congressman, aka the walking sleaze that is Drew, is ready to hand over everything to Sonny without a second thought. As for the storylines, terrible. Still bitter about Sam Dex and now Jack Brennan being replaced? Absolutely. And let's not even get started on Drew and Willow. They make me physically ill. Willow's out here still wearing her wedding ring while getting cozy with Drew? Yeah, that's real classy. And while we're at it, Portia, Lucas, and Brad. Just get rid of them already. Lulu can't even muster up any gratitude for the fact that she's got a son who's been without her for 4 years, while Charlotte wants nothing to do with her. Lulu's unbearable. She and Valentin treat Charlotte like she's their personal possession. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. Drew is just so unbearably smug, and Willow? Seriously, she could be the poster child for the phrase dumb as a box of rocks. Is anyone else completely over Lulu's relentless, I'm going to find my daughter shtick? Like, we get it. She's been on this never-ending mission for weeks now. If I hear her say that one more time, I might just scream. And Drew, please, just send him packing already. He can't act, he couldn't act on AMC, and somehow he's only gotten worse. I can't stand his character, he's nauseating. Someone, for the love of all things, have Cyrus take him out. Oh, and don't get me started on the Brooklyn and Gio storyline. For longtime fans who actually watched Brooklyn grow up at the Q's and attend Port Charles High, this is an absolute joke. She was never pregnant on screen, so what's with this whole Gio is her son plot? Ridiculous. Lois has gone way too far, and the fact that she's been hiding Gio's adoption from him. Heartbreaking. Poor kid has no clue, and the more Lois pushes this lie, the worse it gets. It's like, just spill the truth already, because dragging this out is just cruel. But hey, at least there was some comedic relief in the form of Tracy's knock at the door. It was so obvious, but I loved it. Martin and Tracy together, pure gold. There's some undeniable chemistry there, I'll give them that. Meanwhile, can Lulu please take a hint and focus on the kid she does have in front of her, Charlotte? I mean, Charlotte clearly chose Valentin over her. He gave her the option to return to Lulu, and she was like, no thanks. That says it all, doesn't it? And of course, in the most predictable twist ever, we find out that Gio is actually Brooklyn and Dante's son. Shocking, right? Wait until Brooklyn finds out that her mom knew the whole time. She's going to lose it. Oh, and I can just see it now. Sasha's pregnancy drama is going to send her running straight into Drew's arms. We all know it's coming, but mark my words, this is going to implode when she finds out that Nina slept with her husband's uncle. The whole Drew-Willow affair is like a parade of bad decisions that they just keep marching down the street. I'm so over it. Finally, Alexis thinks she's in charge of Danny now. She has no right to decide what's best for him. The real best idea here, suing for custody of her granddaughter. That's the move, Alexis. Do better. Why on earth didn't Alexis consult Jason? Clearly, it should have been his call whether or not to tell Danny. But of course, Alexis decided to play the hero, overstepping in ways only she can. She had no business telling Danny this news. None. Danny is Jason's son, and it should have been his responsibility, not Alexis's, to break the news to him. Maybe it would have been better coming from Jason, so he could be there to support his son through the whole finding out his mother died thing. But hey, who cares about that? Jason should have been told first, of course, and he should have been the one to tell Danny. But let's not worry about any of that. Now we've got Danny and Rocco running off on their own to find Cyrus. Great, that's definitely going to end well. And Alexis, she clearly thinks she's in charge, but trust me, when Jason finds out, it's going to be something. Fur is going to fly. Fur. Jason should have been the first to know how Sam died, and the one to break it to Danny. Period. Not some half-baked conversation with Rocco overhearing everything and spreading the news like wildfire. Of course, Rocco is just so good at overhearing things and spilling secrets, because why let Jason deal with this in a responsible way when we can just keep making this more of a mess? It was painful to watch Alexis tell Danny about Sam, but really, it was only a matter of time before Rocco or someone else let it slip. Couldn't possibly wait for Jason to return, right? And the cherry on top, Danny so bravely trying to protect Scout by telling his grandma not to tell her. Heartbreaking. Since getting out of prison, Cyrus has done a pretty decent job of maintaining his cool while still pretending to be some saintly divine figure, though, let's be honest, his man of God act is about as convincing as a toddler playing dress-up. But I've got a feeling that act is about to crack. Desperation's creeping in. And when that happens, you know Cyrus is going to snap at anyone who even looks at him the wrong way. Next on his hit list, Elizabeth. He's convinced it was her who ratted him out, and he's not exactly known for handling betrayal gracefully. This could get ugly and fast. On a separate note, Sidwell's already starting to grind my gears. Major props to Laura for putting Drew on blast about any involvement with Sidwell. He needed that reality check. And seriously, turning Woods doing the right thing by shutting Cyrus down when he tried to prey on the elderly residents. A win. Too bad Mr. Renault wasn't thrilled with the decision. He wasted no time demanding answers, pointing fingers, and of course, landing on Elizabeth. Naturally, Cyrus doesn't do subtle, and now he's made her a target. Great. Meanwhile, Sonny's in full crisis mode, but this time, it's his heart, literally. The doctor tells him he needs a pacemaker, which, considering the circumstances, is just a slightly inconvenient bit of news. Sidwell's got his own agenda, of course, and now that he knows about Sonny's condition, he's got enough ammo to twist Sonny's arm into handing over Pier 55. Blackmail, anyone? Nina's had a moment of clarity and finally owned up to her role in the mess with Carly and Sonny's marriage. Apology accepted, but honestly, I can't help but think that Carly and Nina might actually make a solid team. For the sake of their grandkids, at least. But it's Sidwell who's really got me worried now. With Sonny's heart deteriorating, a pacemaker won't be enough. The guy's heading for a transplant, and wouldn't it be a delicious twist if Cyrus were the one to donate it? After all, he was supposedly released from prison due to his own heart problems. I'm betting the whole heart condition thing is just one giant scam, especially when you remember that Austin, who was basically Cyrus's puppet, was the one who testified on his behalf. I'm starting to lean toward the idea that Cyrus isn't the killer after all. My money's on Lucas. But who knows, right? As for Nina and Carly, let's just say I'm kind of into their dynamic. If they join forces, it could be a total game changer. Just when you think you've seen it all, right? So Rick came back to be there for Molly, which is sweet, but honestly, they need to recast Jack to actually be there for Jocelyn. I mean, come on, this guy hasn't even bothered to check in on her. He used to be her rock. Remember when he literally told Sonny, "I'll come after you if you don't protect her." Now, crickets. Jocelyn needs her dad now more than ever, especially with everything she's been through. Just saying. And Nina, oh Nina. All these schemes and plans she's cooking up when, for starters, she could just tell Willow the truth. You know, like, hey, I slept with Drew. Simple. But no, instead, we're stuck with her endless drama. By the way, ever since Jens Sidwell showed up, I've had this gut feeling he's Natalia's ex-husband. Anyone else getting that vibe, or is it just me? Cyrus? Yeah, he's about to learn the hard way that Lulu is not someone you mess with. She's not the type to just roll over. Okay, here's my rant for the day. Just a few things off my chest. Nothing major. First, Drew has always been a little too dumb for my taste. But when Carly confronted him and he said, "Who's pathetic now?" and then announces Jason got Sasha pregnant, like, excuse me? Even if Jason did knock up Sasha, why exactly would that be pathetic? Second, can it get any more obvious that Jason's going to step up as Sasha's baby daddy? She won't even entertain the idea that he isn't the father. Third, the Jack and Jocelyn storyline is beyond ridiculous. Please just wrap it up already. Oh, and last but definitely not least, Sonny's hair. It's way too black now. He was rocking that natural salt and pepper look so well, and now it's like, why Sonny? Why? Oh, and one more thing. Is Sidwell really Natalia's estranged husband? Because he's definitely been keeping tabs on her. That's interesting, right? And what's going on with Lulu? Why is she acting like that towards Cyrus? I mean, the guy's the only one who's had her back. Talk about biting the hand that feeds you. Why does GH keep trying to force Natalia down our throats? She's just unbearable, and she has zero chemistry with Sonny. It's honestly time for her to exit stage left. As for Elizabeth and Lucky, if they're not careful, Cyrus is going to make their lives a living hell. Lulu's whole wanting Charlotte back thing. Yawn. This storyline is as exciting as watching paint dry. Tracy finding out she's going to be a great-grandma, potentially even a great-great-grandma, thanks to Gio, should be an absolute treat to watch. I can only imagine the look on her face when she realizes Gio is old enough to be a father. Pure comedy. Speaking of bad pairings, Carly and the new Jack Brennan, a total flop. The original Jack and Carly were fire. This new guy, not even a spark. Now on to the entertainment I didn't know I needed. Low-down dirty shame. If you remember, Jada Pinkett Smith tore into the leading man for his lack of shame. And then Cameron Madison mentioned a fan threw an apple at him over the Willow storyline. Talk about a dose of reality. Who wouldn't laugh at that? Now Karina, Carly, and Nana teaming up, pure gold. Their alliance is going to be unstoppable, and I can't wait to see it unfold. But speaking of questionable choices, when is the newly elected congressman ever going to do his actual job? Drew hasn't even gone back to Washington since he was sworn in, and I'm starting to wonder if he just left Scout alone in that DC hotel room while he and Willow played house. Priorities, Drew. But honestly, if Carly and Nina team up to take Drew down, I am so here for it. Can't think of anything more satisfying right now. The writers on General Hospital are really dropping the ball here. Seriously, how is it possible that they don't understand the difference between a heart attack and cardiac arrest? Sam and Dex didn't just have a heart attack, they had a cardiac arrest. Newsflash, a heart attack can lead to cardiac arrest, but they're not the same thing. I mean, they keep talking about how healthy Sam and Dex were before this happened, but then they keep mislabeling it. It's not that hard, just stop calling it a heart attack already. And now, finally, the big reveal. Gio is Brooklyn and Dante's son. Shocking, right? Olivia, Dante, Sonny, and Brooklyn are all going to flip when they find out that Lois knew this whole time. Like, how do you look at that kid and not have any kind of emotional reaction? And Tracy is out here living her best grandma life. Brooklyn might be reminiscing about the good old days in Bensonhurst, but I'm pretty sure once she realizes what's been going on, she'll be losing her mind. Gio, poor kid, is stuck in the middle of this hot mess. What a disaster. Then we have the whole Alexis situation, with everyone crying foul because she talked to Danny about Sam's death without Jason's permission. First of all, Alexis has spent more time with Danny than Jason ever has. so she probably knows him better than anyone else. Second, she did the right thing by talking to him before anyone else had the chance to fill him in, especially since Rocco was about to spill all the juicy details. So Alexis was definitely on the money here. And let's not even talk about the outrage over Alexis that was somehow non-existent when Jason talked to Scout about Sam's death without Drew's permission. Selective outrage, much. Now, if I were writing this, I'd have Brooklyn have AB blood and Chase with a plus blood. Why? Because the reason they can't have a baby is because of antibodies from her first child. She just needs some meds to fix it. And then, plot twist, Gio ends up needing a blood transfusion, and Dante happens to be a match. Boom. Brooklyn and Chase can finally have a baby, and Maxie's there to put all the pieces together. I'm just saying. As for Alexis talking to Danny about Sam's murder, yeah, she shouldn't have done that without Jason's say-so. But Danny, Rocco, and Dante all know Cyrus is under investigation for Sam's death. And Carly and Jocelyn are out here making deals with Jack Bremen, all while keeping secrets from each other. Lois knew Gio was Dante and Brooklyn's son from the start, but she just kept it to herself. How's that for family drama? And seriously, Willow should remember that Michael was there for her when she was sick. It wasn't Drew who saved her life, it was her Aunt Liesel's blood. Drew really needs to stop making decisions about Willow's life and kids without actually talking to her first. And don't even get me started on Carly and Nina needing to team up to stop Drew. This is going to get ugly. Portia, you've got to tell your family the truth already and end Brad's blackmail for good. How long are we going to keep dragging this out? To Brooklyn, for the love of all that is holy, please tell Chase about the baby you had as a teenager before someone else drops that bombshell on him. Come on, a revelation like that has got to come from you, not some random gossip mill. And seriously, Alexis, what was that? Why on earth would you tell Danny about Sam's murder instead of letting his father, Jason, handle it? I get it, you're trying to be all helpful, but you just dumped that weight on the kid, then sent him on his way like it was a casual Tuesday. At least keep him around for a bit to make sure he's okay. He's a teenager, for crying out loud. That's the kind of news you give a hug and a bedtime snack for, not a one-way ticket home without any emotional support. Oh, and Willow, girl, you're about to be the poster child for inconsistent. 1 minute you're all, I miss Michael, I still love him, and the next, Drew touches you, and it's like you've forgotten how to breathe. Drew's got you hypnotized, huh? It's like he's got you in a trance, and poof, Michael who? By the way, Carly, she's got kids everywhere. Michael, Morgan, Joss, Donna. She's like a walking daycare. And let's not forget, isn't she like 65? When she had Joss, wasn't it around the same time Brooklyn had Gio? So, while Brooklyn and Dante were 18 or 19, Carly's kids, and like all the other ones in Port Charles, were just growing up? Wait, so was Dylan, Tracy's son, an adult already? I swear, GA's aging system is as reliable as a soap opera plot. I mean, how close in age are Dylan and Brooklyn? This is the kind of stuff that makes you question time and space. Speaking of time, are we seriously finding out that Brooklyn is, 40? Because the math just doesn't add up. If she was 21 when she had Gio, that makes her 39, which means Chase, who's roughly Michael, Willow, and Sasha's age, is 8 to 10 years younger. So yeah, maybe now we understand why Brooklyn's been in such a rush to start a family. She's trying to speed up the biological clock a bit. And Lois, good grief, she's known all this time that Gio's her daughter's kid. She let him grow up with his mom while not telling anyone. This poor kid, he spent so much time being mothered by people who were literally his family, and no one told him. Lois is in for a massive fallout when this comes out. Gio's living in this chaotic, overstuffed house with all his relatives, including Uncle Sonny, who turns out to be his grandfather. This storyline is more tangled than a bowl of spaghetti. Okay, I need to jump back in because some people are getting real serious about this is just a soap and not real life. Yeah, we get it, but this is a fan forum, folks. People are here to gossip, analyze, and vent about the ridiculousness that is GH. If you're not into it, maybe this forum isn't for you. We're all here because we're fans, and guess what? We care about these characters. And Jason, you think he's going to be happy when he finds out Alexis decided to tell Danny about Sam. Really? I mean, Jason should have been the one to break that news to him. I don't know why Alexis thought she was the right person for that job, but she definitely wasn't. Oh, and last but not least, what's with Joss being used as bait by Jack B to catch a criminal? Why on earth is he putting her in danger like this? He supposedly cares about her mother, so what gives? Finally, who would have thought the day would come when Nana calls Carly for help? Seriously, I'm kind of excited to see these two team up. Should be interesting to see how that plays out. Can't wait to watch GH again. Finally, something fun. Drew told Willow that it would be unfair to everyone, especially Michael, if they denied their feelings. Really? Taking her out of town, having sex in their shared home, showing up at her mother's house. That is what we're calling fair now. Meanwhile, Cyrus is just chilling at Austin's place, where he literally killed him. Makes total sense. And don't even get me started on the new Jack. I like the actor, but I'm not sure if his character is going to mesh well with Carly. I'm giving him a chance, but let's be honest, the chemistry just isn't there. And Cameron Matheson, yeah, he was wrong. He said Drew and Willow's relationship is sweet, and fans will love it. Sweet? Sleazy is more like it. But hey, at least the show still has some redeeming qualities. The fact that so many of our favorite 80s and 90s vets are still hanging around is a win. Sonny, Mac, Felicia, Lucy, Anna, Jason, Kevin, Laura, Tracy, Lucky, Liz, Ned, Lois, Alexis, and the list goes on. The actors are amazing. Love them or hate their characters, they can always bring it. Sure, the storylines might be lemons, but the performances are top-notch. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.